We have a very special guest. It's been a very big week in the O'Neill household this week. The girl dad has a boy now.
Yeah, let's bring on Ty Sanders.
Okay.
How are we doing?
Kira, who you guys have seen before, she's been on a couple times, got engaged.
Me and Scott, we had a conversation a month ago, like after
Right.
I asked for his blessing and everything.
Which we're gonna get into that
started-
as well.
we should get into
We're
that.
gonna
We can
get
get
into
into
that.
What should dads be doing when they have 4 girls in the house who are dating and a guy comes in? How are you expected to act?
Speaking of golf, we talk about the Happy Gilmore situation.
Yeah. How's your golf game? Welcome to this week's Girl Dad Podcast. I am Scott O'Neill here with the amazing
Lexi.
my incredible daughter, and we have a special guest today.
We have a very special guest. It's been a very big week in the O'Neill household this week.
Let's bring on Ty Sanders.
Ty, please join us. Please join us on the stand. Okay.
How are we doing? Thanks for having me.
Ty, thank you for being here.
Ty, such a
It's an
pleasure.
honor.
So, Ty is actually my new brother.
That's
So
right.
we just got, we had an engagement this weekend. So not officially the brother yet.
No, not officially yet. Almost brother.
That's right.
But Kira, who you guys have seen before, she's been on a couple times, got engaged.
It was a really special night.
Oh my gosh, it was an unbelievable night. We're gonna get all into it.
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about. So we were like, you know what? Let's bring on this new guy who's coming into
They've
our
been asking
family.
me for a while. I'm holding
No,
out.
we have not.
Yeah.
Not one. It's the one time.
No, we thought, what better way
But-
to, bring him into the family than to.
Well, I think we got to
Interrogate
pull
him
this
a
down
little.
so we can see a little bit. I don't want to mess you up.
Oh yeah, you're
I want
right.
to see don't want to mess with the money maker. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
true.
For sure.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with a little dad advice of the week. Dad,
Yes.
what is something that kids should make sure they keep in mind and remember throughout the whole engagement process?
I have no. I honestly don't know. I'm stumped.
What?
Yes, I'm stumped. It was a long time ago. It was 29 years ago.
Whoa.
Yes.
Do you remember the moment? Well, I don't think I know the story.
To get then when we got engaged?
Yeah.
It wasn't very romantic.
It was.
I didn't do nearly the job that you did. It was really spectacular. Really well done.
What was yours?
I don't want to talk about it.
Please just
No,
say
it's bad.
it.
First of all, I
know-
didn't have it. I had no money. I literally, I call. You couldn't text back then. There's no text.
Yeah.
So I call Eric Hines, one of my friends from college. You know Mr. Hines, and your Uncle Mike. And I was like, "Can you guys send me money? Because I didn't have any moned So they FedExed to me cash,
Stop
each of
it.
them. Yeah. So
Stop
I
it.
had a little. They had a little, and then then I went and bought a ring. So that was the first. thing.
No way.
Yeah, and I was put. Your mother will not admit to this, but she put pressure on me and said, "Look, either we get engaged or I'm going back to Utah." Because she was living in New York, working in New York. I was in Philly, and I was like, I felt I was too young. I'm clearly older than Ty, which we'll get to. But I felt I was young at the time. And so then I called her boss and got her off of work. We went down to the Super Bowl. And we put it up on the. No, we didn't do that. No.
No, I was
But
like, wait, this
before
is
that,
starting
no,
to sound
no,
a little different. I was
No,
like,
no. So we were at the Super Bowl Miami. We went out to dinner and I proposed in a restaurant. I had, we had like a little disc camera, like a little cheesy camera, and I had the waiter take a picture.
and the picture's so cute.
I know it wasn't set up. It wasn't romantic.
You
I mean,
guys
it
were
was fun.
eating alligator chicken nugget or alligator.
We got alligator
nuggets.
bites. Yeah, alligator bites.
bites.
But it was. I mean, in hindsight, I wish I would have done more of what Ty did.
Yeah.
Which was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Thank
Yeah, we'll get to the whole proposal, but it was.
But she said yes.
fantastic.
She was thrilled.
She said
She
yes.
cried. We both cried. She
I
said
don't know if
yes.
she said yes though. I don't know if you guys caught that.
No, I heard you.
Oh boy.
I heard you asking her after. Like, did you
Right.
even say?
Well, obviously the way she reacted, we can assume.
She was jumping up and down.
Right.
I think that all luck would have it.
For
She
sure.
said she's a hard yes, especially because she was asking you every week or so to get engaged.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that as well. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about. Okay, but
Well,
before we get into it,
Before that, though, we have to deal with the elephant in the room. Ty's mom and dad were saying how mean I was to Ty when we were dating. I want to talk about it.
First things first, my mom is probably the biggest fan of this podcast.
She is. Shout out to Ed. We
Shout
love you.
out, Ed.
Thanks for
She's
being a
probably-
fan.
and she doesn't know I'm doing this. When she sees it, let's not tell her. And
No.
she can see the
Yeah.
episode.
This
She
will be
should
fun.
so hyped.
But when she spilled the beans, there was a little awkward moment, and I think we should get the elephant out of the room.
Are we going right into it?
Yeah, let's get
So,
into it.
I love my mom. My biggest. She's my idol.
She is your champion.
She loves to hyperbolize. Everyone says we're the same person. We're
Yeah.
very stubborn.
Yeah.
We hyperbolize, exaggerate. I mean, obviously, I'm going to tell my mom, yeah, I want things to be better with Scott, with Lisa, over time. I mean, the father-in-law figure has got to kind of, you got to be stern, right? I'm married to a daughter.
Yeah.
So it's
I can
all
be
understood.
difficult.
So I've expressed that with my mom. Obviously, she might take it a little too far.
She said she had to give you a couple motivational speeches.
Yeah.
At dinner, after we got engaged, this is what we're talking about. My mom brought it up yeah, it's been hard for Ty. He just didn't. I'm like,
Every
come on.
other girlfriend's father has just loved him, and you just were giving him a hard
Which
time.
makes sense because Ty really is an amazing guy.
No, he is.
We've all talked about he has
He's-
everything that we would
Yes,
want
he's wonderful.
in our sister to
He's-
marry.
He's kind. He's got strong faith. He's like very generous and loving. We've seen that across several opportunities, but I historically have not been very nice to the boyfriends because they come in like water through this house. They do. And you know what? I'm not jumping in on the boat. And plus, it's true. What 50 boyfriends? What if I was nice to all 50 of your boyfriends?
This is what I will say is
That's
that Ty is not wrong. Looking back, I could not imagine, again, we were talking about this at dinner, I could not think of one instance in which my dad had spoken to one of my boyfriends.
Right.
Except for my current one.
I like him.
Yeah. Yes.
The crush.
The crush. But I mean,
I think we're 4 for 4 right now, like in terms of the boys, and that's never happened. I don't even think we've ever been 1 for 4.
yeah.
So we're in a really like special golden era of dating in the
Yeah.
house.
Everyone's dating great.
But
great
the
people.
question is I have, in terms of girl vice, is what should dads be doing when they have 4 girls in the house who are dating and a guy comes in? How are you expected to act?
No, that is honestly such a valid question. And like, I think that you actually did it like fine. Like, I think you could have made more of an effort to get to know or talk to anyone. Like, when there are points where some of us have been dating people for years and it's like, you don't know, you barely like remember their names. It's like, that's where
Is
it's
it
a
on
little
them
crazy.
too or no?
On the,
I think
on
it
the
takes
dudes.
2 to tango, right?
It takes 2 to
I
tango.
know, but do you remember when I used to answer the door with a ventriloquist doll? I did that for a whole year. I didn't
Yeah,
talk
you
other than
did.
through the ventriloquist
Really?
doll.
Yes,
It was a good
yes.
bit.
But
The boys
I mean,
didn't warm up to that one either.
I think it's valid because I think like when you get to the people who like your daughters are actually marrying, like you're obviously gonna put in an
I
effort
could
with
have
that.
softened a bit earlier, I think.
Totally.
And it took Kira yelling at me and your mom.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, all right, fine.
Yeah. Because
But
Ty's
Ty,
so scary.
what Ty, what is some examples? Like, how are you feeling when you were coming over?
No, for sure. I mean, it's I think it's pressure regardless, I think what you just said, getting softer earlier, kind of easing into it would have
been helpful.
But here's the thing, it's like
Yeah.
in my mind I was like, oh, they just don't like Lisa's wonderful too. I don't want to just say that this is all Scott or all Lisa. They're wonderful, but I would have sometimes I thought I was like, man, I just wish they would have talked to me more, like gotten to know my story more.
Right.
But then
Absolutely.
I would always try to put myself in your guys' shoes. I'm like, this is it's a tough situation. There's a million variables and factors.
Right.
So I think you've handled it gracefully, and I feel loved and respected.
And this is why Ty's the
I know, but I
best.
don't know. I don't think that's really like. I think we have to do a better job ferreting out the truth. Because if his mom was like, "Oh, he was really upset," like
Yeah,
I think
fact.
he's got to
But
come
like,
correct
I
with
mean,
it.
I think if Ty was as upset as Ed says, I think that is 100% valid. Like, I would have the hardest time if I knew that like my boyfriend's mom didn't like me,
the
but
roles
like
are different too, right? Because
Right.
coming in, and me and Scott, we
true.
had a conversation a month ago, like after I asked,
Right.
for
Yeah.
his blessing and everything.
which we're gonna get into that.
started-
as
We
well.
should get into
We're
that.
gonna
We
get
can
into that.
But it was. By the way, the conversation I thought it was incredible. Spirit was there,
Yeah.
super wholesome,
Cute.
special moment. But then after the fact, Scott ask me questions because I'm going to be eventually providing for his
Yeah.
daughter,
Right.
his everything, you know. So it's
And
not-
sometimes my delivery is not as at work too. It's not as elegant as it is in my head. So when I deliver it, its intention is very
but
pure.
I think
Well,
that's a good
it's
thing
not
too.
even
But
half as elegant. It's just rude.
No, but
like
no,
it
deliver-
just comes
deliver-
out
Here's what's
harsh.
good. I'm never gonna forget what Scott said to me because he said it sternly. You know, after he's like, "Yeah, 100%, we love you. We're excited to welcome you to the family," and then he started talking about things that were important. I'm never gonna forget that because it was very stern, and you could tell he cared about those things a lot.
Like what were some of those things that you said?
Go ahead, Ty. Do you remember?
Just he asked me questions about how I'd provide.
Because he's in college.
Right.
Like what is it's very much Utah culture.
Right.
It is. They both go to Utah. They both serve missions. So the Utah culture is like, you come on for mission, get married,
Right.
and that is not my culture.
No,
And
and
so
you have always
I have a bias for just graduate from college.
That's what I
my
was gonna
bias.
say. Is you've always said no one gets married until they're graduated.
But
from
they're
college.
22.
Right.
So it's like, so
Right.
I kind of Jedi mind tricked myself into like, okay, this is okay, but it still feels like it's going to be hard. So,
Right.
so I said,
right.
so what specifically do you remember?
So that's a big one. How are you going to provide? I'd say I remember like the.
And he was like, I worked hard in high school because of my knee, and like I saved up money, and no, it was really cute. And then he's like,
so cute.
and then I sold door-to-door sales. I'm successful. I just did it in a month with my money. Like, we'll be fine. And I'm thinking like, fine,
Yeah.
knowing how hard it is when you're in that stage. But that's the beauty of blissful youth, and love and all that fun stuff.
You
My
figure
mom,
it
shout
out.
out my mom. She told me a long time ago, you have to be young and dumb enough to get married because it's so hard, right? And you're just working at it constantly with the person. But it's the most important choice you ever
For sure. So we talked about that. Like, how are you going to provide? What else? I
Um,
know what I said, so I'm interested to see what you
he
recall.
was talking. It was. I don't know if you remember. I started laughing when he started talking about like having kids. He's like, you guys cannot have kids.
No, I was like, I don't want her barefoot and pregnant. It's exactly what I said.
Right.
I was like, this is not barefoot and
I
pregnant
started
time.
laughing because I was like, I'm not. Kids have not even crossed my mind.
Right.
Parenting in the future, obviously, can be
Yeah.
talked about.
And then like, I'm like, a lot of times in Utah, the usually the wife drops out of school and like supports them and I was like, this is not happening in this family,
Yeah. Yeah.
Which in Kira is way too special and gifted driven, for that to happen. I
talked about
She
that.
wants a career.
But like the way I was delivering it, I think maybe it was too much like,
Yeah.
So I was like,
I mean, I can only
I was like,
imagine.
here's another thing, I could have
That's
softened
so
that.
scary.
No, it
No.
was good. I like that.
No, I could have been better, I think, in delivering that.
Ty, was it how you imagined you're like the talk to
No.
go?
No.
Well, I prayed that like the spirit of, unity would be there, and that we'd understand each other. And I thought it was there. So, yeah.
He's so cute. He's so
I think
cute.
most people would,
Yeah.
say the same thing.
But I think so twice mom like grabbed my leg. Like,
Oh yeah, after he said a few questions, it was so because one
she
time,
grabbed my leg twice.
yeah, your mom is like my biggest defender. I was laughing and smiling.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
situations.
yeah.
I thought it was
Wait,
funny.
Stop it. Stop.
I don't know. That
Wait,
was,
what was it that you said that she grabbed your leg?
because we're talking about providing. And
Yeah.
It's like, am I taking care of you? And she's like, yes, honey, we are gonna take care of you. I was like,
no, we're not. She's like, yes, you are. And it's like, are we gonna stay in the condo? I'm like, I don't know, So,
Oh, that's so funny.
so,
That is so
but then
good.
I did, in fairness to me, I did say, look, I'd rather provide in this time so that you can be best prepared.
Sure.
Because Ty's extremely talented, very hardworking, very smart. He's got unbelievable gifts and personality, as does Kira. And I don't want them sacrificing in the short term. Right. Like, I want them to take real internships. I want them to go out and explore the world. I don't want them working at ShopRite for 40 hours to try to make rent when they should be doing other things to develop their skill sets and their networks and all that.
Yeah,
So we talked about that a bit.
for sure.
that's great.
But it was a, I wish my delivery were better. I think my content was pretty good.
I'm glad we can talk it out now, though.
And
That's
what's cool, what Scott's really good at is getting the most important things displayed first in a conversation or in any environment like this. And the first thing he said that I remember was just like, hey, once you're part of the family, like you're part of the family. It's like
Right.
you're my son. You know, I'm not gonna look at you any different. And I feel like that just invited really. It made me comfortable, made everyone comfortable.
Right.
You know, the spirit was there. It was
I had
awesome.
that. I had that with the Reynolds family. I told Ty this in a text. Him and Kira, the night they were engaged. I just said like, the gift that Janet and Dee provided to me, I want to pass on, which was, I was their son. The day we were engaged, I was their son. I was not their son-in-law ever. I was never treated like an in-law. We used to, we call ourselves the Outlaws. We always take an outlaw picture, with our backs. But anyway, we do all that stuff because it's funny.
Yeah.
But honestly, I felt like part of the family and welcome, and that's how Ty will be. He'll be your brother. He'll be my son.
Absolutely.
Which I'm really excited about.
Me too. Okay,
But bringing families together is complicated.
It is complicated.
And families come with a lot.
It is.
So
Well, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like is just like, whoa, like Christmases. Like they're gonna be like splitting Christmases.
Right.
Like it changes a lot for like both families.
Right.
Like it really is crazy. But
and they're both the first.
ones, yeah.
Both
Yeah,
the first. So
yeah.
we're gonna have to set the tone.
figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. No,
It's
let's
crazy.
just describe the engagement because it was pretty special. So
Okay.
would you agree that you can't keep a secret? Would you agree?
No, I would not agree with that.
Okay. Would you agree that Eliza has a difficult time keeping a secret? And Caitlin?
I
If
would
I
agree
had
with
told
that.
you something, would you tell those two?
No.
Guys,
We tell
what's
secrets all
that
the time.
emoji
What do you
face?
mean? No.
Like, I'll give you that emoji
We
face
tell
right
secrets
now.
all the time.
No, I'll give you a knife to the head right now.
Knife. It's
Knife to the head. Yeah. So
No.
so here's the thing. So Lisa and I talked about a lot and about how we're gonna get, because Ty had this grand plan, how we're gonna get the girls. Kira and Caitlin were interning with the Red Sox. They were coming home that day, and so we're like, how are we gonna get? Their boyfriends are gonna want to see them, and so Lisa sent out a note and just said, I was like, we cannot tell them. They can't help themselves, and I do not believe you could have been able to help yourself.
I would have been able to help myself.
No chance. But either way, so we say that look, it's an experience, it's an O'Neill thing, and we do this kind of thing. Right. Ty, you'll be in them now, where we go through, like, before school, we sit down, we talk about goals, we talk about what you want to accomplish, we talk about lessons you've learned, how we can help each other. We like formally sit down and talk about these things as a family. And so this is not like crazy for us to pull people together and say, no, this is important, you have to show up.
Yeah.
And so we got a Sprinter van, that's classic mom. And we said, hey, dress to impress, dress up. And then we had to pick you up because you were at the shore. And then we got to the Philadelphia Art Museum.
The Rocky Steps.
Yeah. So do you want to tell the rest?
So we get out of the van and Dad starts giving this little speech, which I actually thought was really cute.
Yeah, thank you.
Like it actually was cute, but I think you were
Well,
just saying whatever you could think of.
No, I wasn't. No, I
You
planned
were
it.
just,
No,
like,
I planned
going
this.
off
What I
the
talked about
dome.
was, I said we were all together, and because Mom wanted your backs to where Ty was.
Right.
And so we said, let's get a selfie. She kept flipping you guys to the back. And I just said, hey, every step, this is a year of change for us. For every one of us, this is going to be a year of transition. Eliza's like, except for you. I was like, no, me too. This is a big year of transition.
Except for you.
And so every step you take on this journey, I want you to think about the steps that you've taken and the progress you've made in your life and the steps you're going to take this year. And I want you to really think through each step and how we're going up as you walk up.
So then we just started walking up the stairs. We're all like linking arms, holding hands.
It was cute. Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, it was really cute. And we're all just kind of like, oh, are you crying?
No. They have cats. I'm allergic to cats. I'm not joking. But.
And where are you guys?
I'm not- I
He's such a
okay.
cute little buddy. So
That's not a compliment.
it is a
No,
compliment.
when they call you a buddy, I'm just saying.
No.
You're a buddy.
No, I'm not a buddy.
You are a buddy.
Neither of us are buddies.
You're both buddies. So we start walking up, and then Kira starts freaking out.
She just
Kira
lost
sees
her
Ty
mind.
and starts freaking out, and the three of us didn't see it yet. And so we're just like looking at her freaking out, and then we see it. Wait, I need a break.
It was
I'm not
cute.
gonna cry.
So Ty was up on the top of the stairs to the left. He had a "Marry Me" in lights with all these flowers and rose petals, and he had a bouquet of flowers, and his mom had said, "Do not walk down. Let her come up because it'll be more dramatic." And it was probably like 200 people, roughly.
Oh my gosh, there was 200
Like 200
people around.
and they start cheering. They all had their cameras out and they were cheering.
But it also went dead silent too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it did. There's
yes,
that moment
yes,
of silence.
yes,
but while she was
yes.
walking up,
Yes.
everybody was
And
quiet.
What's cool, you know, like I think God kind of gave me tunnel vision, but I was telling Lisa and Kira, like I had an experience I'd never had before where I was like perfectly focused in on Kira, you know, like she freaked out, like they just said walking up. And then walks up slowly. You know, Lisa and my mom said, "You don't move, like stay there, let her come up to you." But as I'm looking in at Kira as she's coming up, like I can hear, because it's so quiet, I start to hear like individual conversations of like the people.
Awesome.
Like, oh my gosh, this is out of a movie. Like, oh, I'm gonna cry. Like, just you know, because we had a huge crowd, which I think Kira loved me. I'm a social guy with my circle, but like you know, it's harder for me to be in situations like that. But super special moment.
So then she walks up the steps, they give a big hug, and he walks over and then gets on his knee.
Yeah.
And she loses her mind. It was really cute.
Right.
It was, I'm gonna cry. I can't, we need to stop talking about it because I
No, it was beautiful. Those moments are so beautiful.
It was the best thing ever.
And I thought they had a photographer there who I thought was like, because sometimes I feel photographers are a bit intrusive, and I felt like he was not.
Wait, he was so cool.
He
The
had great-
pictures were
Forgot he was there.
unbelievable.
He had great,
Yeah,
exactly, and it's a great gift. He
Seriously.
had great glasses too.
Yeah,
orange ones.
he was great.
Yeah.
He was great.
Shout out
And,
Aaron Thompson.
Aaron, what's up? Great job. And then you had one of your brothers and your sister there, and your mom and dad, and we had our crew here, and it was pretty special. Then we went out to Del Frisco's.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. That was some of the best steak I've ever had in my life.
They should sponsor us.
Yeah. Yeah, that place was in like an old bank with like the vault
in Philadelphia,
and
in
the
the
clock.
city.
Oh, it was
The
so
steak was
cool.
great. The company was even better. Right.
Except for a couple of the
Yes.
conversations got a little awkward.
I mean, if you have my dad in any conversation, it's bound to get a little
He's
reckless.
so funny.
Yeah, for sure.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he rolls it on the edge a bit.
Yeah,
I
definitely,
like that. I like it.
definitely. No, it was fun. The two families coming together was really, really fun.
Yeah, and then trying to figure out now they have to pick a date,
Right.
and then a location, all that kind of stuff. And,
Right.
And I'm hoping that we let them decide.
What do you do? Why are
I'm
you
just
making
saying
that
for you and
face?
mom. Take a
What do you
step
mean
back.
for me and mom?
Just take a step back.
Oh
That's
my
all I'm saying.
gosh.
Take a step back.
We can have input.
No, just take a step back.
We're
Half a step
guiding,
back.
guiding directions.
So
Ty, who were you most intimidated to meet in our family? Was it?
It all happened so fast
Yeah.
because the quick story. I get off my mission last year on a Thursday.
served in Africa.
Yeah, served in Cape Verde. Me and Kira are going
Tonight.
tonight. We're gonna go to Portugal and
Yeah,
then
we had to
go
get
back.
you on the pod before you rolled.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
literally.
right. But anyway, so I get home from my mission on a Thursday. On Saturday, you know, in our church, we have the temple. You can look it up, LDS Temple on Google. They're in almost every major city in the U.S. We're at the temple for one of our friends. He's having his own little ceremony in the temple, and the O'Neills were there, the parents, because they're friends with this family, the Lauer family. So I was there.
Shout out the Lauers.
Yeah, shout out the Lauers.
Go James Lauer.
Yeah. Anyway, so I see the O'Neills in the temple, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go up after, because I met Scott when I was super young. He had all the kids from the church in the area go and play at the
Training
practice
complex.
in Camden,
Whoa,
the Sixers facility.
whoa.
Awesome. Yeah.
Wait, what the heck?
Yeah. Were you there?
I don't know actually.
It was
but
boys.
that's so
it was just
crazy.
the boys. Yeah.
Yeah, just boys, I think.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was super fun.
I should have had the young women there.
Yeah, you should.
You're a baller.
Yeah. So yeah, we did that. So I met Scott forever ago. I was like 13.
That's crazy.
And then, yeah, I was 21 last year. Anyway, so I was like, I need to go and talk to him after. And then when I go and talk to him, they're with Kenny and Melissa Lauer, and like, hey, you got to take Kira out on a date. You know, James has been talking about it. So went out with Kira. What are we talking about? Why am I bringing this up?
I don't know. It makes it exciting now.
Yeah, I don't know. Keep going.
Well, who you're most nervous to meet?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
I moved so fast.
and I had never met Kira, which is crazy.
Yeah.
'Cause we live like what, 50 minutes away.
Yeah, about
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
Members of the same church, but just never really crossed paths really.
Yeah.
So everything happened fast. So to think like it wasn't like a big deal for me. It was kind of just like, oh, I'm going on a date. And
Right.
so I met Scott and Lisa before Kira, but they
Yeah,
were
that's
awesome.
wild.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
kind.
First
That's
date
wild.
was concert with us.
So I'd say you Lex, you're probably because I remember when a month
Really?
later, yeah, because a month later I spoke at the church in Philadelphia.
You said
Yes.
you said most nervous to meet, not most excited to meet.
No, I said most intimidated by.
I was
And
most
you were
like,
happy about that?
Yes.
No, you don't want to be intimidating.
but now he knows me.
I
I'm
wouldn't say
not
intimidated, but the most like, oh wow, like I probably got a little nervous, but I was about to speak. I'm not a big public
Yeah,
speaker,
yeah.
which is probably
But
hard to
and you
believe, but
killed
I'm
it.
not. Thank you. I'm a big shaker.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gotta talk
I'm
to
a
you
big
about that
shaker
after, but
too.
yeah,
You shake when you.
when I public speak. Yeah.
I do the
Except in my
exact same
home
thing.
church.
I can give you some tips for that.
Okay, good. But yeah, I remember you like walked in with Kira. Maybe because I was seeing Kira
Yes.
too. I got a little.
Yeah.
Butterfly.
Anyways, but so probably you is.
That's
Slay.
good.
Yeah.
Slay. Ty, when did you know that Kira was the one?
First night I met her.
That's good.
Kira, I mean, I bet a lot of people are watching know Kira, so it's like they're probably not even surprised when I say that. I mean, there's been a million dudes in love with Kira, which is probably why Scott acted the way he acted.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, Kira is just the most, like, just to sum it up, the night I met her, I realized she's the most, like, selfless and genuinely interested and kind person, like, I've ever met.
Totally.
Just a champion of people. She wants to just love and lift and care and nurture for everyone. Like, it doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
If you're a 100-year-old grandma or a newborn baby, she's
And we would say the same about Ty.
Totally.
I mean, they're actually
Totally.
a really interesting mix.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Of that. They seem very interested, very caring. We've seen them with our nephews. We've seen them with perfect strangers. It's
Yeah.
a wonderful, wonderful spirit.
No, absolutely. Also, Kira and Ty look so much alike. And it's like
I think that's a
thing.
dig at Kira,
No.
I don't.
right?
Maybe. But no, you guys literally like the same eyes,
He's
the
a
same
foot
face.
taller.
Yeah.
No, it's their faces. And they
blonde.
say that soulmates, no,
I don't
guys.
see it.
I'm going to put a picture up here, or Ricky's going to put a picture up here of the two of them next to each other.
Yeah.
They could be twins.
And you know what the
they
comment?
Could literally
And you
be
know what the
twins.
comment will be? They don't look anything alike.
No, they
They
could
could be
literally,
twins.
they could totally be twins.
They could be twins.
Okay, Ty, what's your favorite thing about Kira?
I think
I want to add something too,
Okay.
actually. So,
Okay.
And when I went home, my mom was like, Ty, like, how was the date? Tell me about Kira. And she specifically said, tell me about Kira. And I was like, I can't. And I already told Scott this, but I was like, I didn't learn enough about her because she made it all about me, all about James. It was a double date. We went to Topgolf. And then there was another girl who was there on the James date, and Kira just was like super interested and lifted everyone. And so I felt like, I need to like actually get to know Kira. That's what I
Wow,
thought.
that is
Yeah.
amazing.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so you just said, what was your question? Because I just disregarded it.
I mean, you've asked it twice. What would you like most? But she can answer. Ask it again.
What's my favorite
Wait,
thing about
I've
Kira?
not asked that
I think, yeah,
twice.
that is my favorite thing about Kira, actually. Just
I
how
love
genuinely
that.
interested she is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's good.
cute.
And her she loves the Savior. She's super committed to the faith, what she believes in. That's awesome.
Love that.
Yeah,
What is the weirdest thing about Kira that you've had to get used to?
Oh, good one.
that is a good one. The weirdest thing about Kira. I think this is a good sign. Like, I haven't thought of anything.
Yeah, that is a good.
I've got a dozen.
Yeah, I was
Do you?
gonna say we
Here,
can
I
go
don't
I'll
want to
off.
share 'em. I
You don't want to share them?
don't want to put them in your head.
Okay.
But she's wonderful. I would
Yeah,
say like,
But she's
and I
wonderful.
think you would agree to this, Lex. Like, she's always been the most mature sister.
That's so crazy.
No, but honestly,
That's so crazy.
no, but don't you think so?
Okay, I hate to even say this for myself, but like, yeah, there are times when in my head I'm definitely like, Kira is so much more of like the older sister
Yeah.
vibe.
But there's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah, there's not.
right?
No.
I mean, she's always been. But even when she was young, she's an older soul.
Yeah.
Always, even when she was 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
10.
6-7. What's up?
It's true.
Here, I thought of something, but this includes Lex and Eliza too. It's so what I thought was so weird. Like, it actually blew my mind
Oh,
because I
no.
love languages. Like, the O'Neill girls have their own language.
We
And
do.
I either know it or I don't. I'm not going to disclose that information, but it's crazy. They have.
He
their language.
wishes he knew it.
You know what
He
I wish?
wishes
I
he
wish
knew
I
it.
never heard it.
It's actually crazy. Like, I'm not joking. Like, they literally speak in their own. It's like a pig Latin dialect.
Yeah, we do.
It-
And
it
it's
is-
very hard.
it
Like, no
is-
one picks up on it.
It is
Except
very. It's one of the very few things that has me get up and leave the room.
He will literally, if we start talking it, he will
Wow,
get up
that's
and
a-
leave.
I
Because
like
he's
that.
so mad he can't understand
it's not.
it.
It's
he's
not.
He does, yeah, he's
No,
mad.
that's not what I
He's
meant.
just salty.
No.
I don't think
Why?
so.
Why do you hate it?
I just want to walk away.
It's a disrespect thing, right?
It is.
It's not
It's
disrespectful to him, just to everyone else.
To everyone
right?
else.
Oh
Well,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. You wish you understood.
No, I don't. I don't want to understand. I want you to have the dignity to like speak up if you
I
have
like
to say
that.
something.
Yeah, I like that.
But sometimes it's like,
I don't like it. I never want to hear it. But yes, they have their own language. They have a lot of
okay,
quirks.
that's
They're
valid.
wonderfully close.
Yeah, we're very
I
close.
thought of all good things. So that's why it took me like a minute
Yeah,
and a half
that's
to think of
valid.
that.
What about Caitlin? You haven't mentioned her. Do you not consider her part of the
No,
family?
I obviously did. Eliza always brings that up too. Caitlin. No, she might be my favorite sister, but that's not true. I love
Oh
all you guys.
wow, this is awkward.
Tyler.
That's how much I love Caitlin, though, right? 'Cause
Okay,
I'm putting her up there with.
You also
with
spent
Lex.
a lot of time with her this summer.
That's true. Yeah, I was up in Boston. She was killing it, by the way. at her
Yeah.
internship,
Oh,
but
yeah.
All
Oh,
the
yeah.
sisters are
Wow.
great. I love all of them.
Ty's no longer my favorite brother.
I will say, you know, what we haven't talked about was how difficult it's been for me to not have a guy in the house. Let's call it what it is. And at Christmas time, I sat all the girls down and I gave them a nice talk. I was like, guys, enough's enough. I will take a warm body at this point.
It didn't feel like that.
He did that.
No, but that's a fair point.
That's
Actually.
crazy and true.
So then I put a little incentive in play, which we won't talk about because it seems obnoxious to talk about.
That's right.
Well, how obnoxious is you keep throwing it at our boyfriends like it's nothing.
Well,
That's true.
Listen, I don't want to talk about getting our nails done anymore. I don't.
Yeah, because we're always just talking about getting our nails done.
Going to get your hair blowout, whatever that is. I still don't even know what it is. I don't want to talk about like who took someone's dress or like I don't want to have to tell you to like put some more clothes on.
Right.
I don't. So I am looking forward to a vacation with Ty. Maybe it's just gonna be the two of us. I don't know, but maybe we'll all go and it'll be the two of us anyway hanging out, and you guys will do whatever you do. I still don't know. Yeah. And Ty will be like, "Hey," he'll be like, "Have you ever scuba dived?" I'm like, "No, let's go get go get whatever test trained, and let's go scuba dive." I'll be like, "Okay, oh, let's go skydive." All right, I'll do it. Right. Hey, let's go in dune buggies. Okay. Right. I'm like, "Hey, let's go play any sport." Ty will be like, "Sure,
you
let's
don't
go
play
do
sports." Dad, I am so happy that you finally have what you've been
playmate.
Wanting. Yeah,
a
playmate.
Me too.
That sounds weird, but yes, I'm so
Why
happy.
does that sound weird?
That I don't know, it just does. You guys are playing.
Yeah, we are. I just need somebody to do anything. Remember on my birthday, and I was just like, "Hey, can we go snorkeling?" The water's too cold. The water's too rough. I don't like fish. The salt hurts my skin. I'm like, for goodness sake, it's my birthday. Get in the water.
Scott, the girl that has a boy now.
Yeah,
the
it's great.
The girl that has a son.
It's great. I can't wait for our first vacation away, just to do anything. Fun,
like with
except for probably like the first year, they'll be like,
facts.
I'll go. Let me drive you to get your nails done. I'll be like, Ty. You know?
Yeah. I don't think Ty would want to do that though.
I don't know.
But I think they'll definitely be like, that's like when engagement and marriage.
Do you ski?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Do you snowmobile?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't like have all my cousins have them. I mean, they all live in Heber City, next to
Right.
Park City, so a lot of outdoor.
Let's do
sports,
this.
Yeah.
So many activities to be done.
Yeah. Plus, we played paddle for the first time.
That's right. Hey, I was playing some tennis. My backhand's gotten better. Yeah. It'll for sure translate to paddle.
I think your paddle, I thought extraordinary for your first time out.
Thank you.
So we'll be playing paddle.
There you go.
These sound so exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited because
last night. We should just warn them like bowling or mini golf.
Bowling?
We have a bowling situation in the family.
We do.
Oh, the bumpers are.
We have to put the bumpers up.
The bumpers are always up.
All of them.
Everyone.
But you don't approve of that. I think this has been talked about on the podcast before.
Or
you don't approve of it, right?
Yeah,
I think it's sad that at 25 you can't roll the ball
for sure
more than 5 feet without going to the gutter.
And what does this have to do with me?
No, it's not about you, but I'm saying all you guys, like the two things that cause a lot of pain and suffering
are mini golf and bowling.
But why though?
Mini golf is different now though. We've actually gotten way better.
I'll just be like, Ty, do you want to go bowl? Yeah. He'll be like, yeah, sure.
You a good bowler?
No, not very good.
How
about you?
My best game's a 211. That's pretty good.
What does that mean?
That's good. 211. That's a sick.
But Scott, you might want to disown me after you see my form.
I go backspin. I got bad
form.
Yeah,
that's what I do too. The Taiwanese, they bowl like that.
What?
Did you know that?
Taiwan by the sea.
That's
wow.
Right. So, yeah.
Okay, Taiwan.
My buddies back home who are listening to this, we would bowl a lot sophomore and junior of high school. We just go bowling.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, they always made fun of me for that.
And how's your mini golf game?
It could be better.
How's your golf game?
What actually upset me.
What?
So Scott was down at the range. We played in this memorial golf tournament for Uncle Jay. Obviously, we a couple months back at this point, right?
Was
so yeah, Scott's down on the range. I go and put up a bunch of balls next to him, and I'm about to start hitting. He's like, "Here, take some of these. Take this glove," and just leaves. Like he gives me some golf balls, gloves, and I was like, and I was good, like, because I was prepping like Thursday, Friday, and I'm just striping them.
Oh, right.
I'm just striping them.
He brought all his buddies who were like played on the golf team in college.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I remember.
Second place, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah,
should have gone first.
Got
robbed.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The Reynolds won.
Right. Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. Speaking of golf, we talk about the Happy Gilmore
Yeah,
situation?
sure. Yeah. It's a good
Yeah,
movie.
not that it's a situation. I know you're not even thinking too much about it at
No,
all.
I'm not at all. Did you see, because Bryson, Brooks, Sergio, and Bubba were all in it.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's great.
awesome.
I think when golf is breaking through to mainstream, it's good. Like when I was growing up, golf was just like old white country club rich sport, and now it's getting democratized, and you see it with now all these brands that are fantastic, like getting into golf, music. You see actors, artists, athletes all playing golf.
Everyone
and
plays golf.
And so you see there's no accident why the sport's growing around the world. And so I liked it. And I know TikTok is like saying, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that I don't care about TikTok. I love TikTok.
Right.
But like if this gets conversation going and maybe has 10,000 people walk out and go to Topgolf because they saw Happy Gilmore, it's great. If they go to like putt, play a little mini golf and play, great. If they actually get on a range or get on a course, or if they go to sim golf, I just want more people swinging clubs. I think it's good for the world.
Boom. Wow, that's awesome.
But I loved Happy Gilmore 1 a lot. I mean, it's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
Now, did you see that before? Like, had you seen
I've seen the
you
first
had
one.
to
It's
say
been a
seen
long time.
I still
I've
haven't
it.
seen the second one.
The second one or the first
I
one?
haven't seen the second.
What about
I've
the
seen
first
the
one?
first, of course.
Sweet. You came on here and asked me a question about it. You didn't even watch the movie.
No, because every single comment in my TikTok
What-
is
what-
about
what-
Maxi
what
golf.
am I saying? What's?
Did you watch
They're
it?
saying
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
Yeah.
commenting
Did
on.
you like it?
I liked it.
I loved it.
I thought it was good. I like the first one. It's really. I think sequels are hard.
For sure.
Do you know that 91% of the movies made in the last 15 years are sequels?
Are you serious?
I just read that. I don't know if it's
What?
true. I literally just read that. I just read it.
That is.
But it
we
makes
need to
sense.
get more creative out here.
It makes sense because you have built-in marketing, you have a built-in audience.
Right.
Right.
But I think there are many. Let's think about great sequels. Number 2 that was better than 1. Rocky 2.
One what everyone says, which I
Godfather
haven't seen.
2.
Dune 2. I mean, all my
haven't
friends.
seen
Dune 2 is
that either.
outstanding.
Yeah, right.
Those are 3 right there. Empire Strikes Back, was that 2 or 3?
Oh, one what I loved.
I have no idea.
It's the clown.
I never-
movie.
I never watched
It
it.
was
It's
so
super
good.
Wait, they made an
Yeah.
It too?
They were adults, right? I remember seeing the trailer.
Wait,
I was like,
what?
what are
I
they
didn't even
doing?
know
But
there
great
was
I
an
can't
It
watch
too.
horror movies.
But that one's more of a thriller, right? Because I hate blood and stuff.
Yeah.
It's more of a thriller.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say.
just remember thriller.
Yeah. So
movie.
I think that sequels can be good, great. I love the celebration of golf. I'm not offended by anything. I thought it was more like, do you know what TGL is?
No.
Do you know what
Oh,
TGL
you
is?
just told me about it.
So it's like it's like Maxi. I mean, they have like moving greens and
Oh,
the
it's
players
Wait,
playing
what?
Tigers
sim.
golf.
Moving greens?
Yeah.
That's
I wanna-
exciting.
Yeah. So they play, but it's all sim golf. Like you
Okay,
hit into
I've
like
seen
a
it.
screen, and then they
Oh.
put your ball where it
Right,
would
right,
have
right.
gone.
What is the name? Is it Tigers Golf League or what
No,
was the
it's
teaser?
Tomorrow's Golf League.
Tomorrow's Golf League.
Yeah.
But it's Tiger Woods' thing, right? Or is it not?
He and Rory are partners.
Okay,
Yeah.
so-
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's more like Maxi golf to me.
Right,
you
right,
know,
right,
so,
right.
But it was fun to see our players on the big screen.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch
I
it.
thought Scotty Scheffler actually was pretty funny, and I don't see him as someone who I anticipated being funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But he
then
was
have
funny.
you seen Stick, by the way?
No,
The show on
I saw
Apple?
The trailer for it, but no.
Have you seen it?
What is? I've never heard of it.
It's a series on Apple
Okay.
with Owen Wilson.
I love him.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. He's a washed up golfer who's got a drinking problem, and then kind of reclaims himself by bringing a young player and try to coach a young player. It's spectacular.
Wow.
Wait, that's amazing. It's a
And-
series?
Yes.
What?
One season.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
I love that.
There's a guy in there, Colin Morikawa. That name won't mean anything to you, but he's on the PGA Tour. And he's
Sick.
fantastic.
He's a baller.
Yeah, and
He's top 3 in the world. Is he
yeah,
still top
he's
3
very
in the
good
world,
player.
or-
I don't think he's top 3, but he's top 10 player.
Hey, Ty,
Yeah.
with the golf
No, he's a heck of a
facts.
player, but he's really good. I'm like, I want to see more personalities. Like when I get to know these guys, I just want to see them out there.
Yeah, totally.
He was in Happy Gilmore too. That scene where they're at the dinner, I thought that
Wait,
was so
which,
funny.
what scene was that?
Wasn't he in there when he was like kind of getting rowdy with Xander?
Oh yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I thought that was
yeah, It's
awesome.
funny. It's funny.
Yeah, Travis Kelce's in that scene.
Wait, what?
Bad Bunny pops up in this. It's a great
What?
movie. You have
In
to watch
Happy Gilmore?
There are 82.
Eminem.
Yeah, there are 82 celebrity appearances in there.
What?
are they
That's
Out of
crazy.
nowhere,
Yeah,
They're
no,
so
and they
funny.
just keep coming.
Yeah, it's so
I
funny.
love that.
And Adam Sandler put his family in there, his wife's in
2
there,
daughters.
his daughters.
Wait,
yeah.
that's so
pretty good.
cute. Okay,
It's
I'm
good.
excited to
It's
see
awesome.
it. Okay, is there anything else we wanna?
I actually had a thought. Are
Here
they
we
gonna
go.
kill me for not saying like my side of the story, just real quick?
Oh
'Cause
my
it
gosh.
wasn't a
Oh my
surprise.
gosh, yes,
So anyway, I'll
please.
summarize it. But so they just talked about kind of the preparation. Lisa sent a text, so it made it seem like they're having that surprise family night. They were. So I told Kira, because she was in Boston. They came home on a Saturday morning. They drove back from Boston. Saturday night was the proposal. So Friday morning, I got to the lake with my buddies. And then, the plan was like, just tell Kira I'm coming back Sunday morning. And then
anyway, we just have to have a little interjection here because this goes to one of my pet peeves about relationships today.
Oh my gosh.
I have his location. I know exactly where he is. Drives me crazy. The average number of texts / snaps a day with these two is probably in the hundreds. Okay. And so he has
Me
to,
and Kira?
yeah, he has to concoct this whole,
He's a hater. Don't listen
wait
to
till
him.
you hear this, what he actually has to do.
Right.
Go ahead, because it's amazing.
Right.
That's
I
such a
don't think
hater of the location share.
Yeah. I don't
Anyways,
like the
but
location.
yeah,
share.
speaking of that, like I remember like 2.5 months ago, which is, you might not like hearing that, but I was like, hey Kira, just in case we get proposed to we get engaged, like I'm turning off my location, whether it's like in 2 months or in 10 years, like my location is going to be off. Cause
Nice work.
Obviously the girls want a huge surprise. So, but yeah, so I'm at the lake on Friday.
So you've had your location off for 2 months.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Right.
You should keep it
I
on.
didn't turn it back.
Nice
I didn't
work.
turn it back on.
Good job.
Oh my god.
Good job, Kira, if you're watching.
Anyway, so Saturday we're at the lake too. And it was funny because I was like, okay, how am I going to like finesse this? So me and my buddy, shout out to Charlie and Joey, we sent a picture on Snapchat to Kira at 1:00, like us with our shirts off about to go in the lake. And I was like, hey, we're going to go on the boat. But then right when I send the picture to Kira, we put on our shirts, hop in the car and start driving home. Like 2.5 hour drive from we were near Scranton going back down to, I'm from Wayne. So, and then once we get to Wayne, I hadn't been on my phone at all. I opened Snapchat, responded to Kira. I sent a video. I'm like, hey, here with my boys. Like, we're going to drive to the other side of the lake. Our other buddy has a speedboat. We're going to go out on it. I'll talk to you later. Don't go on my phone for 2 hours. I'm at the Rocky Steps. Check my phone. And I just send her a quick text like, hey, sorry, Kira, I haven't been on my phone. Like, there's a big cornhole tournament right now. Like, I'll text you after. And then that was it. So Kira she thought I was like in a cornhole tournament and then saw me.
Is
so the first thing I say to Kira,
crazy.
I don't know if you can hear it in Scott's video or anyone's video, but I was like, the cornhole tournament ended early. And like Kira had no reaction. She was just in shock. I don't even think she remembered that. But anyways.
Wait, that's really
Yeah,
cute.
That's good. And then you wrote her a letter. You wrote her a note.
Yeah, gave her a note with the bouquet of flowers and whatnot.
Yeah.
When did you start planning this?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
Kira was kind of home for a little bit. My brother got off his mission in Argentina, was home for a little bit. So Kira was down here with the O'Neills with my family. And then when she went back up to Boston on like a Monday, I called Lisa that Tuesday. I was like, hey, obviously we don't know when we're going to get married exactly, but a sooner engagement, wouldn't hurt anyone. And I'm thinking that way because I want Scott there, I want my dad there, they have busy schedules. And then the day that worked was going to be Saturday the 2nd.
Well, to be able to have all of us in the same place at the same time is so rare. That's the first time the 6 of us have all been together.
You know what else is
summer.
unusual? That Kira had an 8-week internship and was in Philly 5 times, which we learned in the Kira quiz last night.
Yeah,
That's right.
Facts. But wow, that is so crazy. The ring is unbelievable.
The ring is beautiful. Very
You,
beautiful.
Ty did 100% of the ring. No Kira involved.
Oh yeah, that was cool too. I mean, we talked about that. Lisa, we were talking last night. I think I'd recommend that for anyone. Like Kira kind of just over the
Really?
months kind of like said some things, and I wouldn't be like very like digging into like, oh, what about this? What about this? I just kind of heard stuff and I write it down. So she had like no idea. She had no idea I had the ring or anything. I was like, I don't want to talk to you about the ring like ever. So we never talked about it. And then she loved it. Good surprise. But real quick before I forget, shout out to Lisa, Kira's mom, and my mom Ed. They killed it with setting up the whole surprise.
Oh,
My mom did the flowers and everything.
That was beautiful.
They were the real MVPs. It was
Absolutely.
It was good to see them kind of like connect too. Like I
Yeah.
think there was a nice like connection between us.
I
It was
kept
wonderful.
saying that our two families were the new Brady bunch when we were all at dinner together.
That's right.
That's not the Brady bunch. That's
No, I
so
know, but like
awkward.
that's what it made me.
It's so awkward.
That's what it made me feel like.
No,
I was
but
like,
you need to come up with another family for that.
I know. But Brady bunch is just what it felt like.
It was more like the Murtaughs and the
and the
whatever.
Bakers.
The
You're
Bakers.
so right.
You guys are the Murtaughs though.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
think
kidding.
we're more the Bakers.
I want to be the Bakers. Okay, love that. Okay, anything else?
No, we appreciate all your listeners
Wait, we'll
out there.
obviously guess a Disney character.
Okay, I'll
Wait.
be the. We should have Ty try to guess it.
Okay, you want to know what I'm known for at BYU especially,
Yeah.
but
What?
probably amongst my friends? Like I have seen like no movies and like no shows.
Okay, I'll pick an obvious one. Or you don't have to do it. I'll do it.
You wanna do it?
with Lex.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, Ty.
They probably want to see it, but
Ty, you have to be in. Okay, you do it. We'll both cast.
let's do that.
Okay, let me think. Because I want one that's a little more unusual.
Okay, go ahead. He has
Okay,
the
you
pirate
asked the
person,
first-
the one he
yes.
always does.
It is.
Speak.
Yeah.
Oh my Dad.
Ty, I thought you said you never saw anything. That's amazing.
I'm probably the
You
most, besides
do
my mom,
speak
I'm the most
every week.
avid listener and watcher.
I
of
was
this
trying to
podcast.
mix it up this week. 'Cause I didn't do
You
Smee
are
last time.
ridiculous. Yes, you did. You always
I love
do
Smee. You know who else I love?
Who?
Abby Smee.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
work
Shout
with
out
her.
Abby Smee.
Her great-great-great-grandfather was Smee, Captain Hook's
Really?
first mate, and
Wow.
I work with her. Her name is Abby Smee,
Crazy.
and she's
Very
wonderful.
cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
Abby, I hope you're listening. I know you're a little hesitant to come on the pod. I've asked you a couple times, but I think this could be really good opportunity for you and everyone to talk about your great-great-great-grandfather
Yep.
and all you've learned along the way.
All right, Ty. Thank you
Ty, we
so
love
much
you.
for coming
We love you.
on.
Glad
Welcome
you're
to
in
the
the family.
family. Literally. Thank
And
you
if
guys.
you liked Ty's proposal or had any suggestions as to maybe what he could have done differently, please let us know in the comments. Also, any advice for me as I still have 3 left. My hashtag on the post was 1 down, 3 to go. So I always looking to improve as a dad. Can I get better? Can I handle it better? Can I be nicer? When Ty gets to know me better, he'll probably give me some more direct feedback. But loved having you on. Love the Girl
Thank you.
Dad podcast. It's good to be here.
Yes, thank you guys.
See you next
and
week.
We'll see you next week. Bye.